did we meet?
Oh, blimey.
We've known each other years, really. Well, apart from Jake, youngster here.
He wasn't even born when we met, was he?
No, he weren't.
The idea had been floating around for quite a while, wasn't it? Get a blues band up together.
I think it was a rockabilly band playing at Dingles, and we were just getting really bored of it all, and thought, man, where's all the blues stuff? You know, like because we do dig the blues, and there's no bands really doing it, and because we all collect records and dig the blues stuff, and now we just thought, well, why don't we just have a jam? You know, get together. Craig's a songwriter, and Paul's a songwriter, and Ads wrote a couple of songs and stuff. And we just put it all together, and it just came about, really, didn't it?
What was it? Survival Studios? One mic, I think, wasn't
That was
it?
the first one, yeah.
Put that online, and we started getting bookings.
Yeah.
Something that we didn't even plan to be a band. It was just something for us, wasn't it?
Yeah, just a laugh, really. Just playing the music that we like and always listen to, and other people decided they liked it as well, really, and it just came about. Went from like having a laugh to, I don't know, trying to have a laugh.
Ashley, why did you want to join the band?
Well, Adam and Craig were friends of my dad. They've been friends with him for a long time. I grew up listening to their Bop Shack records when they were about this thin.
Yeah.
What are you talking about, son?
He
I'm
still
doing
is.
all right.
He still is.
You
He's
should have
all
done
right.
it to me.
Yeah. But yeah, so sort of I grew up.
saying?
Yeah, all right. I grew up listening to sort of these guys playing. I played with
What band was that?
the Bop Shacks.
What?
Bop Shack Stompers.
Oh,
sorry.
Get a little
Yeah,
plug
get
in
it
here.
right.
Yeah,
You have to
all
get a
right,
plug in here.
Who now I'm actually playing with in March.
Yeah, he's in there. He
So
drafted
I'm pushing
him
myself
in,
in slowly, you know.
taking over.
Taking over, yeah, brainwashing him. So I sort of grew up listening to the stuff that these guys, obviously, Trev being the DJ, these two in the bands, and I sort of, when I was a teen, I started sort of playing with Craig and Adam at sort of local gigs, sort of away from the Excellos, and when Paul left the band, I sort of filled in really, sort of tried to sort of do something different for me as well, because I never really sort of done anything like this before.
Who come up with it's Paul's idea, wasn't it?
Paul decided to move on, didn't he, last year?
Well, he come up with a name, didn't he?
He came up with a name, yeah.
Excellos?
Excellos, yeah, because he said the sound that we were producing sounded like the Excellos sound from the Louisiana in southern, you know, in the sort of mid-50s, late 50s, early 60s, you know. And we thought, wow, it's a great name.
Well, yeah, because what we found amazing is how many rockabilly bands there are, aren't there? But this is the roots of it all. And then all the bands began almost not sound the same, but they wasn't doing anything that was making, oh, whoa, you know, what's this? So we just want it all the blues roots stuff.
Yeah.
What kind of acts were on Excello?
People like Slim Harpo, Lazy Lester. Oh, who else? There's hundreds, weren't there? Silas Hogan.
Was Arthur Gunter?
Arthur Gunter on Excellos.
Baby Let's Playhouse, which Elvis
it's the
covered.
original version was Arthur Gunter. Yeah, which we've got here actually.
Have you got? Well, I suppose Excello's one of the
On
most.
there.
Is it that?
It's Arthur Gunter. That's
Yeah, stick
That's
it
on the
on.
Excello label,
Go on, let's have a
Yeah.
listen. So.
which is the top one.
Is there something about the blues that's put out on Excello that is a bit different? Do you think?
Yeah, it's got a. It's like. Well, this is what I would class as like country. Country blues. A bit more acoustic. I think a lot of the Excello sounds got a bit of a sort of swampy feel to it.
Yeah, it's southern. It's Louisiana sound. It was like a southern country blues sound, really. Whereas opposed to the Chicago sound, which is John Lee Hooker, Muddy Waters, all them kind of people. You know, this is more country. It's more rootsy, I'd say. That's why we like it, because it's got because we also like the rockabilly side of stuff as well. And it's got all of that kind of vibe in it.
Come back, baby, come.
Where I think Chicago is cleaner. It's a cleaner sound. Where this is it's a rawer sound. You know?
Less electricity.
Yeah.
Well, that's and I've just noticed there's a piano tinkling in the background, which I've never noticed before. Acoustic guitar. Whereas NHS, Chicago stuff is a bit overdriven amps in the red, which gives it that kind of raw sound.
And this is one thing, baby.
That's probably the one of the most, and we cover it, Shake Your Hips.
Shake Your Hips, Slim Harpo, yeah.
Which is,
That's one of the first blues tracks I heard there in the clubs.
probably one of the most covered, isn't it?
Exactly, I never tire of listening to that track.
We like Ronnie Dawson as well, didn't we? Ronnie Dawson, who was a fantastic artist. He was about 14 or 15 in the 50s, wasn't he? And he passed away a few years ago, but a lot of his stuff we're kind of influenced by as well. And this is one of his great songs. Jump and Run, this is called, by Ronnie Dawson.
Interestingly, with Ronnie Dawson, he who's it brought him over? Was it Barney Coombs?
Barney Coombs, yeah.
Barney Coombs sounds at swing. There's a plug for you, Barney. But he brought this guy over. He was still playing, and he was blown away that we were all listening and dancing to these records, and it was just fantastic. He did an album with some local musicians and just resurrected a whole new career from him in England and Europe, and he became kind of like, I don't know, the king of that scene.
No, it's interesting. He's the only guy I've ever been starstruck by as well.
I met some famous, you met some famous dudes for your life, but you know, they're just people. But he was the only guy went to see him at a show when he first come over. I think it was, remember the Mayday Hospital?
Yeah.
Some funny old hospital club. And he was there. My mum and dad actually come along. They go and speak to him. I can't.
It's amazing.
He just had this aura. There was an aura about him that was just wonderful.
He got better as he got older.
Yeah.
Because his voice was fantastic, strong, really, from here. His voice just was a powerful voice, and he got better. Yeah, as he got older.
And he had the kind of cream of the rock and roll, rockabilly scene musicians.
Top musicians behind him, you know, so he could do it, you know. And also established guitar.
Well, everybody really loved him, and he's the kind of guy when he do a show, walk off, and he's at the bar talking to people, just being
because
he was dude.
Because he was so young doing that stuff, and he was learning from all the black musicians. He became a fantastic guitar player. Yeah. That's why, as he got older, he was doing all the guitar breaks on it, like all the black guys were doing when he was recording that stuff.
What's spinning around on there?
Oh, this is Slim Harpo on the Excello label.
Shake Your Hips.
Shake Your Hips.
So
yeah, which is a track that we cover. So no, put it on, mate.
You're the DJ.
Go on, Jake.
I'll give it a scratch.
Yeah, careful, mate.
I wanna tell you about a dance that's going around. Everybody do it, from the grown-ups down. You have to move your head, don't move your lips. Just shake your hips, to the hip shake, baby. To the hip shake, baby.
Yeah,
To the hip shake, baby.
it's effective.
Shake your hips, baby.
There is an organ for that piano, I'm sure
Is
there
it?
is. Yeah, keyboards or sax or something.
That was quite a unique record when it was made for the sound, you know, and that's why you could play that in the sort of club we go to, and you could play it in a normal club, and people would dig it
It's the beat
because of the
man.
sounds, you know.
Yeah, it's the beat and the rhythm.
Yeah, because of the sound, so unique.
I think when we don't, that's all in one chord. It doesn't change chords. It becomes quite a hypnotic. We found that with our tracks. We don't, with a lot of other stuff, 3-chord blues, 12-bar blues, or rockabilly's got 3 chords. If you change chords, you kind of break something. We notice, I've turned to the band and I've seen Trevor he's gone and I can't signal to him, he's in the music because we're not changing key. And I think, right, and that's the same thing, Shake Your Hips. A lot of records like that, they just stick there and it just draws you in. Even comments we've had from people come up and I've had old punks, hippies going, man, I don't know what you guys are doing, but there's something quite magical about what you're doing. And I'm sort of going away thinking, well, it's very simple, it's very raw. There's nothing, we're not playing like, 100 notes per minute. We're trying to go the opposite. Set the groove, we want people to dance and enjoy themselves, hopefully.
I mean, I suppose those records, because they came from slave times and cotton fields and chain gangs.
Yeah.
There was no changing keys or chords there. It was like,
Because that's them days. They was playing on very basic instruments, weren't they?
Yeah.
Sometimes you had
no wild
a
bands
rock.
then, eh?
And also,
yeah, well, you had a guitar with one string in it,
yeah,
and they'd be playing that with a little slide on it.
No.
exactly. And also, they never knew more than 3 chords anyway.
Yeah.
So it's easy. That's
Or
what
this
they
not
done.
one.
Yeah.
I sit down with people and that, and I was jamming with them, and we're doing one thing, and they're going to the. I said, no, you start. What? You start one chord? But after they've done it for a while, they're like, oh right. But talking about good friend of mine, Rob, lent me an album, Prisoner Songs, and they are literally recorded from the fields. All you've got is the rhythm, is the sledgehammer or the hammer hitting the rocks, and those guys, that to me is real soul
The
music.
chain gang music.
They're chained up. The only way they can express themselves is by singing. And I've heard nothing rawer or purer than that to this day, unless someone can play me that, And I always think, well, if those songs were like they recorded that, and even this or the first recordings, what were the blues dudes
Well, a
like
lot of
before that?
A lot of it was gospel, wasn't it? Really.
Yeah.
That's where it all came from. It's all the gospel side of it. Like Sister Rosetta Thorpe, she was a gospel singer, and then all of a sudden she picked the guitar up and it turned into rockabilly.
Yeah.
I mean, playing licks, not even watching, just singing, playing, and I was like, man, this is pre-Hendrix and pre.
That's where they got all the art. That's where they got their ideas from. Yeah, she's an innovator.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, it kind of puts a lot of those guitarists in the kindergarten, really.
Oh, unbelievable guitar player.
But what I find amazing is nobody really knows about her.
The thing is, you had other people like Robert Johnson and things around the time, and people just saw the sort of the male aspect as a sort of superior.
But you could, I mean, I don't know what she was listening to for her to play that kind of guitar. I mean, who was she listening to? Because she was playing that way back in the late 30s, early 40s, So who's she listening to with a guitar like that, So she innovated a lot of the licks, She came up with all the sound.
And, where she was sort of from, there was no sort of jazz guitarist around giving flashy things off. She was listening to
Just come from her soul,
just come
didn't
from
it?
what she knew. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Got big up Steve Willis.
Steve
from
Willis, yeah.
Rolling Records, who put out our first singles, and hopefully we'll do more. But he came to us and was blown away by how we had got our own unique sound, like Bo Diddley had or whatever. And it wasn't, we didn't search for that, it just come out, didn't it?
Yeah, it just came out, yeah.
I think it's all the years that we've been listening to records and it goes in somewhere and it's just kind of there, we just let it out.
It's in your heart, isn't it?
Yeah. Sound comes from us, doesn't it? We have to, no matter what techniques you could do in the studio, I don't think you're going to replicate. And I've never understood how the blues scene in this country has changed, where, you'll get You know, the guys do 15-minute guitar solos, and it's not about that. I mean, say like me and Jake as guitar players, we could do all that, but we do have quality control, don't we?
Yeah.
Because like me, I'll tend to maybe just hear everything and want to put everything in there, where the boys will know, no, we've got to keep it to that sound, which is right, which I think's great, you know. Because I might want to stick a wah-wah in, but it's a discipline to play less, because it's what the songs and the feel of it need. There's no, you know, it does. We could play 1 or 2 notes. That's all it needs. And I think that's another thing we wanted to kind of bring back. You know?
Yeah, because you know, when Jake came in, he's young, enthusiastic, energetic, and he wants to tear into it. You know, so with us, we want to kind of like, well, you don't need to do that.
It's definitely taught some, you know,
pull back a bit, you know. And he's got the ear for the music, he's got the head for the music and stuff, and it's great. It works, you know. But you have to rein him in a little bit, because these youngsters you know.
just want to play it 100
We were
miles,
young once, weren't
100
we?
miles an hour.
As long as I've been a musician, and you go into studios, and even some of the guys who know about the music still use a lot of modern techniques, which don't. Say, for example, when we first recorded I Was Stuck in a Booth, but I had to come out. I like being with the band and playing like that, because this is how I imagine. I've seen Sun label, Chess records. They're all in the same, and they're all in the same room and vibing off them. And you'll keep doing the take till you get it right. No overdubs. So there's an energy between the band which is lacking from so much other music. And even if you get the bleed that goes on one mic, it's all part of it. You get a bigger, rawer sound. So using that, me personally, using that ethos, and I think it works for
We
us
try
all.
and stay away from the modern sound.
Yeah.
And, you know, waltz and all, what comes out is what we try and get on the tape, isn't it?
Yeah. Which is, we feel there's the imperfections that make it perfect, if you will. We're not looking if there's an out of tune guitar, it kind of can add to it. Because we tried it the other way and it becomes clinical and sterile, not so much fun. It's trying to be like the combos where you all play together, which gets a bit disconcerting when you get on a big stage and you're like 10 miles away from each other. You know?
Yeah, it's better to be close together and get the sound,
definitely,
which is what these guys are doing anyway. You know, they only had small stages anyway, didn't they?
Yeah. Well, we're saying to other bands now, it's funny, on the way here, I'm listening to these 2 guys talking about, we're going to take 2 days on the drums. And I'm like, a lot of times we put 2 mics on the drums. We try a minimal mic, have some ambient mics. What does the actual band sound like, rather than how we're going to produce it and make it sound? Because a lot of bands do that, go and see them live and they can't produce what they do. Hopefully we try and balance the records between a live sort of sound. And it's, you kind of pull back on it and you want people to dance.
Yeah.
Biggest buzz I get is for people who actually get up and dance. And when we first started the Excellos, and on the London, maybe, I don't know if it's just for the rock and roll scene or any scene, to go and watch a band and everyone's just standing looking. As a musician's point of view, I want people dancing. And if you can do that, and we did that early shows, and we thought we must have something right here. Yeah, because people are dancing.
No one ever dances to bands.
Well, my mum and dad was around in the 50s, and they said everybody danced to the bands, and they would be coming to clubs now, maybe, or a few years ago, and think, why does everyone just dance to the DJs and not the bands?
I think we do. We surprise ourselves sometimes with the sound they come up with. I mean, we recorded recently, and it was just a jam. It came out of the blue from nowhere, and when we listened back to it, we were like, this could have been an original recording someone sort of found in their attic or something, you know.
Yeah,
it sounded. It's just basically setting up and your volume's down low and just sort of playing with feeling, and it just creates this sound. It's all about, you know, how you feel, work with each other rather than focusing on yourself.
Blown amps help as well, don't they?
Blown amps, yeah.
Well, we're not using old mics, that's another thing.
Yeah.
We are, to be honest, I mean, the standard is an SM58, isn't it? That's mainly, we realised, you hear people talking about it, great, you get a lovely sound when we did the album, we was using old mics and stuff, but we was using old amps as well. So we toned, because we can be pretty loud. Well, Adam can anyway. But we found if we tone down and overdrive the amps, the sound is essentially coming from us and the way we play it. So we could use any microphones, I think.
That's it.
I mean, obviously, old valve mics are going to get a warmer sound, but we're still producing it. So I hear people talking about, spend days on this. We know in one take whether we've got that song
or not, definitely.
Do we? You know.
Yeah.
And we're not going in. We're just using a rehearsal studio. I mean, Adam, we recorded it on an hard drive 8-track, and then I'll put it into something else, do my Jamaican Woodbine mix on it, and that comes back. That's for another project anyway. But I always use valve amps.
Yeah.
Use a Fender Vibroverb, which has got, as the amp's warming up, the sound gets crunchier and crunchier and warmer, and the dynamics of that. So I try and gauge the set now, where the amp's going to warm up and you get to the nice crunchy numbers. But we kind of been working on the sound with Jake, and he realises he's open-minded. He don't take it, no, Jake, that's not the sound. That's because we're still doing that with each other, aren't we?
Yeah.
No, that's not the sound you had. That's not the way you play it. You know, we're always on it to reproduce.
That's what I was saying earlier about everything. Every gig's different, isn't it? You know, the thing is with us, it's sort of like we can go and have like a sound check or something like that, and it will come back and it won't sound the same even later on. Right. It's always something different about it, and like when we go into recording things, we don't go in thinking, well, this is what we need to do today. We sort of maybe have a few ideas, but we go in real clear-minded, open-minded about it, and whatever comes out, comes out. And I think that's sort of like the reason it sounds the way it does half the time. You know, it's always different.
Always different.
It's you know, we separate the records from the shows. The shows are always different from what the records are like. It's how a band should be. You provide a show, people come to watch it. They want to listen to what it's like. They can stay at home and listen to the records. You know.
Yeah.
So it's an experience.
Yeah,
also the Excello experience.
Absolutely, mate. They're going to get a unique. I've had people say to me, it doesn't sound like the record. As Jake said, go home and listen to the record then.
Well, there's a few people who come to see us all the time, and they never hear the same song twice. They never hear the same set twice. They'll go, "Oh, you never done that last time." It was, well, yeah, great.
Me personally, that felt good because of the history and who's been there. Some of the old blues, Howling Wolf.
All of them, yeah. Muddy Waters,
Johnny,
Jumping Jack Dupree, Muddy Waters, all of them.
I felt just good standing there, and all these people have been on there, and it was kind of a bit of a privilege, I suppose, as well.
But it's just a privilege to play there, really, when you know who else has been on that stage.
You know, your heroes from whatever genre of music.
Yeah.
You know that they've been there and that you're doing the same thing there.
Yeah, even the Stones and the and the Hendrix and Sex Pistols and everyone. Yeah, it's great.
Well, it's got I like the diverse, any kind of act.
Yeah.
Was you saying earlier about Sid Vicious coming in?
That's it. Just saying, look, this is how it is now. It's not a specific genre club. It's a music venue where big people have played, and the fact that we got to play there was a real sort of honour, really, wasn't it?
Mm.
Yeah, that's right.
With Chris Farlow.
With Chris, yeah, which is a big break for us, really.
Yeah.
Playing with Chris Farlow, because he was playing there 30 odd years ago, and to go back with us, which is great, One of the tracks we've covered on a new 45 we've got out is John Leoka Going Upstairs, and the vocals on it is by 60s legend Chris Farlow. Great recording it with him because you don't get a chance to work with people like that. And he came to one of our gigs in Great Portland Street and liked what we were doing, and we started chatting to him and said, "Yeah, we'd love to do something with you." And we went into a studio and recorded about 5 or 6 tracks, and it came out fantastic, really. And,
it's good. He's easy going. It was actually a rehearsal studio. We did it.
Yeah,
We
that's right.
recorded it ourselves. I think we were just going to demo some songs, but they came out really well. And the other side we did.
Little Walter song, was it? Tell Me Mama? They're on Rolling Records, wasn't it?
Yeah, Rolling Records put it out on 45 for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, working with him, he's because he's got such a great blues soul voice. I think he could probably sing the.
He picked them up straight away, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's when we done it. So yeah, it weren't no trouble for him at all. He's got a great voice for it. So yeah.
And that's a pretty rare track by John Lioka. You don't usually hear that kind of stuff. You hear boom boom and dimples and all that stuff, but you don't usually hear that. And Chris picked up on it straight away, you know.
Yeah.
And that's why it's nice working with him now, because his voice is at its best at the moment. And oh yeah, that's what I think anyway.
He seems vocally, he seems to be able to get in and not even understand, feeling the soul and the essence of bringing a song across. And as Trevor said, these guys have lived a life of years and experience, and you hear that in the music. You know, with all due respect to younger people, how can they purvey this soul or this voice in there? So the Excellos and Chris Farlow coming together is it's not. We're all winners in it, in a way that we can, through Chris's fans that they're introducing to us, or through our fans introducing to Chris. So I think it's a good thing, and I think long before when we're gone, we've just hopefully left some good records, you know. And we haven't compromised. We've done it because we feel it's how we feel. We want it to go out.
Well, now meet me in the bottom, bring me my running shoes. Yeah, meet me in the bottom, bring me my running shoes. Yeah,